Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I am your host, the Incredible Sulk, and I hope you guys are having a great night, a fine night, an okay night, the best night you've ever had. I don't give a shit. I hope you're here. That's what I care about. If you're having a good night or a bad night or in the middle of the night, as long as you're here and trying to better it, trying to make it better, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to brighten your day a little bit with my sadness, with my insanity, with my unhinged takes. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of the flock. And thank you for being you. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday night. Tonight we're going to be talking about the unending control, the squeezing of the middle class, if there's even such a thing anymore. There's not. It's a thing of the past. It's a boomer relic, the middle class. We're starting that jam over again. Sorry, I was feeling it. I don't know how to loop things, and I'm not willing to learn. Renting. That's what we're talking about. How you can't own shit anymore. Everything is way out of your price range, and everything's already bought up. Every house is owned, and it's illegal to build new ones. And for some reason, you can't just go out in the woods and build yourself a log cabin like you could before. No, somebody owns it. Somebody owns it and will charge you an enormous amount of rent. And if you do own something, if you manage to scrape together the capital to actually put a down payment on something, and then you actually have a mortgage, congratulations, you're building wealth. But then you're going to get crushed to death by what do they call it? Property taxes. Property taxes. Property taxes. You mean I own things that you actually own, and if I don't pay the thing, then you own it again? That's just a different form of rent. That's still rent. I'm still renting it from you. That's un-American. But that's the society we live in today. Try buying a car. It's insane. You get a 100,000 mile beater for what? $15,000 or $20,000 if it's reliable? What are you going to do? Buy a $500 car? It's not going anywhere. A $2,500 car. Maybe if you put another $5,000 to $6,000 into that car, it'll move. This is not an accident. This is part of a grand agenda. Cash for clunkers was not an accident. They knew exactly what it would do. It would destroy the used cars market. They wanted you to be slaves. And here you are. They gave the boomers everything so that they would sell us, the next generation, so that we would be slaves, so that we would live in servitude to them. Well, here we are now. It sucks. But we can still enjoy tonight, can't we? We can still enjoy tonight. So sit back and relax. Get comfy. Get cozy. Grab a nice bottle of champagne or sparkling wine if you're not from the Champagne region of France. Get a nice robe on. Put some rose petals in your bathtub. And then listen to me in my sulky, sultry tones. My delicious, audible chocolate voice. As I lull you into a false sense of security. And then make you take that last drink. That will send you into eternity. With me. Still feeling it. Can they not make this song longer? I don't care. Anyways, guys. Thanks for coming. If you're working, keep working. If you are driving, please get home safe and keep driving. Anyways, let's get started. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the cat. This is the Sulk stream. And what is this called? How Gen Z is Doomed. Enjoy. That was all right.
I just lost every single book on my Kindle. Over 300 books.
Then I tried to print at my leisure, and it was like, no, you literally can't use the...
Let's start that over, right?
Gen Zers own nothing. They don't want to own anything. Everything is a service.
I miss the days where when you actually purchased something, it was yours.
I just lost every single book on my Kindle. Over 300 books.
Then I...
Boned, right? 300. What are you doing with a Kindle? The Kindle is the dumbest thing, right? Like you have a standalone device just to read books and stuff. Use your phone. We read stuff on our phone all day long. I don't know why people buy Kindles. And then you have 300 books on it. And then Amazon decides, hey, no, you don't. You don't have 300 books on it. You have 0 books. I know you're, how much does a book cost? 15, 20 bucks? I honestly don't know. Because I don't buy books because I'm not going to read them. And I'm not going to display them on my shelf either. But it doesn't matter because they're not physical copies anymore. So you can't even buy them to do that. It would be better if I was able to put them on a bookshelf and see, look at all those books. Haven't read a one of them. Not a one. Not a one. But no, now you have it on a Kindle, right? And I have 300 books on there. No, not anymore. They just took them all. Took like $1,000 worth of books from me. Not that I was going to read them, but I had them. It's women. Women do that. Buy Kindles. Why? Stupid. It's a stupid thing. You don't own that, right? You own the rights to it roughly, but not even that.
I tried to print at my leisure, and it was like, no, you literally can't use the printer unless you have a subscription.
Automakers want to turn this thing
for a printer. You buy a printer and you buy the ink and you buy the paper and stuff like that. And then they're all like, well, you need a subscription and then you can only print out a certain amount of pages a month. And if you go beyond that, you can't go beyond that because the printer says, no, I've reached my max limit. You can upgrade your subscription and then I'll do 500 pages a month. But at your current subscription level, you only get 100 pages a month. So yes, I am a printer. And yes, you have the ink and the paper and all the necessary accoutrement for that to happen. However, you're not paying the right people for that to happen. That's ridiculous. Why buy a printer? I know why people buy printers, but that would make me mad. That would make me very angry.
you drive every day.
Who do we have?
into
Boston.
moving subscription.
Ardenshire.
This study shows Gen
Boston's
Zers
first, by the
have
way.
some finance
Everybody.
problems,
Gold star.
starting out with more credit card debt than previous generations.
But let this be your reminder, you
Yeah, it
guys.
must suck to be Gen Z. David Thoreau, despite Scott Farmer. What's up, guys?
We don't own anything on social media. This is their app. They can at any time get rid of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, your email. We don't own anything.
And ultimately, that's how you completely control human beings.
Welcome to the year 2030, where
Boston Buckaroo says Cars for Kids was a huge scam propagated by Obama and Israel. All the money made by Cars for Kids went to Jewish heritage vacations for Jew kids and fams. Okay, yeah, I believe that.
will own nothing and
Yep.
be happy, or so they say. That phrase is from Ida Auken, a Danish social democrat, who in 2016 envisioned a future where
So, like a Nazi, right? Like this chick would be a Nazi back then. I'm not saying, do what you, but like, yeah, probably be a Nazi. I'm just,
ownership is obsolete. In her utopia,
it sounds pretty bad. No, ownership is not obsolete because you know what? Somebody owns it. You just don't want us to own it, but somebody does own everything, right? It's just, you don't want us to own it. So ownership is no longer obsolete. This is just like the gun argument, right? Oh, nobody needs a gun except for the police. What? Why do they need guns? Why do the police need guns? Why does the military need guns, but not me? Why can't I have a gun? Nobody needs a gun. Nobody needs an AR-15. Yeah, I do, but it doesn't even matter. I just want one. And you saying I can't have one because some kid died on the other side of the country in some very mysterious circumstances. No. They always say you can't have it. Ownership is obsolete for you, right? You don't need a gun. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I need?
Dystopian prediction, we no longer own cars, houses,
No.
appliances, or even clothing. Instead, everything that was once a product is now a service. But it's
We own the same mic. See, we have the same mic. It's a good mic. MV7. Get it. It's like $250.
2030 approaches.
While you can, before you get like a subscription that you pay like $30 a month to use a mic, and if you don't pay up, then they're gonna break your house, like break your door down, and then unhook your mic, or just make it not work. Right? You have the mic still, but they just send out an update where it just doesn't work anymore.
Is that this prediction that was once framed as a dream is now feeling more like a dystopian reality. Today it feels like subscription-based models have taken over the commerce world, and with that, taken the rights to our purchases. From printers that limit...
Arden Sherry says, hell, your birth certificate isn't even yours. That's true. And none of the dollars in your wallet are yours either. They all technically belong to the Federal Reserve. And then people are like, well, it's the government. No, the Federal Reserve is not the government. No, the Federal Reserve is a private bank, and they own all the money. They let you use the dollars in your wallet, but they still belong to the Federal Reserve. They're not your dollars. It's funny that you mentioned the birth certificate, because there are some conspiracies behind that and doing like admiralty law and stuff like that. And somehow it's a contract that says the U.S. government technically owns your child, right? It is a U.S. citizen. It is owned by the federal government, and it allows you to raise that child. If you don't believe this, what happens if you mistreat your child or the government deems you unfit to be a parent? They can come in and legally take your child away from you. So if you don't have a birth certificate, I guess they can't do that. However, if you don't have a birth certificate, they're probably taking him away anyway under some like, oh, this is trafficking or some stupid garbage like that. Yeah. I don't know the laws exactly, but that's where that is. So do you want to do that? Do you want to sign over your kid to the government? Well, you have to, don't you? You do. You have to. Because if like somebody asks questions and they're like, who is this? Who does this belong to? It's going to get real complicated pretty fast.
The amount of pages you can print unless you pay a monthly fee, to Kindle's ability of revoking ebooks you've already bought. The age of ownership is rapidly fading. And as for Gen Z, well, these digital natives who were raised in a world where access outweighed ownership, they're now paying the ultimate price, the loss of personal property. In this new reality, control over our basic utilities, creativity, and even our personal history has been transferred from the consumer to corporations. So
People used to have albums and stuff, right? Wedding albums and like, family albums and stuff. Not anymore. Now everything is in the cloud, right? And you can't even keep anything on your hard drive in your computer, right? Because they keep saying like, no, we'll keep it in the cloud. It'll be safe in the cloud, right? I don't own the cloud. I own my hard drive, right? That's my hard drive. It's physical and I can hold it, right? But no, everything belongs to the cloud. But if they decide that they don't want you to have access to those photos anymore, they have that option. People don't have physical albums anymore. Right? I mean, some people do, but a lot of people don't. We don't have a lot of our wedding pictures around. A lot of it is on digital media stored in various devices, but a lot of it is also in the cloud because they want control of that as well. They want you to pay a subscription for you to view your own memories. This is going to extrapolate to the point where you have to pay a subscription to feel your own emotions, right? To like hug your children and stuff. It sounds wild right now, but in not too long, that will be a very real possibility. Not just a possibility, but an inevitability. You will have to pay for literally existing, breathing the air. We already have a clean air tax. I wasn't breathing the air before. Now you have to tax me for it to make sure it's extra clean. You're the ones fucking it up in the first place. Why do I have to pay you to breathe air now? It's bad enough I have to pay you for water that falls from the fucking sky. Now I have to pay you for the air that I breathe too? Oh, on top of that, property tax. I have to pay you for the things that I already own, that I already paid taxes on, by the way. I don't own shit. And neither do you.
Let's talk about it, how the erosion of ownership is infiltrating every aspect of our lives, and how Gen Z's future is one of impermanence.
Despite says Equilibrium. Yes, please. Yeah, that's kind of the plot of Equilibrium.
One of the greatest feats of late-stage capitalism has been the adoption of subscription models in nearly every aspect of our lives.
I hate that everything is a subscription now. Like, there are some things that are not meant to be a subscription. Why does it seem like every single business is now trying this business model? Like, I get you want to...
It's insanely profitable, right? You not owning things means they can charge you for everything for the rest of your life. Forever. You don't retire. When you die, you don't get to pass down anything. Not your car or your house or anything like that, because most people are renting. Most people can't buy a house. I mean, if you bought a house and you own a house, consider yourself one of the elites, because when you die, you'll be able to pass it down to your children if you can afford children, which most people can't because they are also very expensive. This is how they divide classes, right? This is how they have the elites and how they have the have-nots. They just extract wealth. You're going to have to work for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, because you will own nothing. You won't build equity. You won't own a car. Even your clothing, the shirt on your back is going to be some sort of subscription service to, like, I don't know, some fashion subscription service where they're going to send you a shirt every once in a while, and then you send the old one back, and then it goes to like a third world country or something like that and is used, I don't know, for them or recycled somehow. There's nothing you're going to own. What did Boston say? Boston says, I have photo albums, records, CDs, tapes, all of my favorite music and movies, real books. This was common in a generation before, when you had like a milk crate full of vinyls and stuff, and then you flip through them. And yeah, okay, that was a banger right there. You don't have that anymore. You have like Spotify. You have Apple Music. You have these things that you pay $10 a month for. But why? Why can't I just buy the fucking CDs and then just have a number of CDs? You know, if I do 40 years of like a subscription service just to listen to the same fucking music I listened to when I was a teenager, what's the point of that? I end up paying hundreds of dollars for something that I could have paid $10 30 years ago. What's the point of that? Control is the point. Control has always been the point, right? That's why things are so expensive. That's why everything is a subscription. It used to be convenient. It's not convenient anymore. You want to own things as an adult. It's part of being a human being. This is mine. And look, it's disappearing. That was not a magic trick. That was not intentional.
Make money more than anything in the world. And I get there is people who are willing to pay for a subscription. But like, can we just not? Can we just not?
In the past, you used to have the freedom to make a one-time purchase to buy most things, and then had the freedom to do whatever you wanted with that item. There were no loopholes, hidden fees, or reoccurring charges when you could buy things outright. And whenever a new version
Scott says, I sketch all my memories. Photos are witchcraft. Are you like Aboriginal or something? Does it steal your soul? Photos might be witchcraft. I don't know. I don't know much about photography. Might as well be witchcraft to me. You put some silver on a piece of paper and then you expose it to light and things change and stuff, and then you have some like different chemicals and it brings it to life, and that's scary. That is some sort of seance or something like that. I'm not into it.
Out, you had the choice to spend the money to upgrade or not because you were still happy with the product you had. The control was in the hands of the consumer because they got to pick what they spent their money on. And now
David Thoreau says, buy a console, buy a game, buy a subscription for the console so you can buy the subscription to play the game. Get the fuck out of here. Right? So you buy the console and then you buy, well, no, you have subscription services for the game, right? You have Xbox, PlayStation Play, you know the ones I'm talking about, where you download and then you play that for a little bit and then you download another one and play that for a little bit, but you don't have a collection of games. I remember having a collection of games when I was younger. I still have those games, I'm sure, somewhere, but it's not like I can play them because nothing is backwards compatible, because they want me to pay for a subscription where the game is already in digital form in there, so I don't even have to use my plastic discs anymore, right? I just get it from them. Oh, but you know, I have to pay them. I have to pay them again for a game that I already have and I owned and I played. I don't want to do that. Can I not do that? No, you can't do that because nothing is backwards compatible. That's some horse shit. That's a lot of horse shit. That makes me mad.
Now, Gen Z and, well, all generations for that matter, have to deal with everything they want being behind a reoccurring paywall.
You know what I'm sick of?
What?
Subscription services for everything.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of them. I'm tired. Like, it started with streaming services and it seemed like a good idea, right? It was like, okay, cool. Instead of buying DVDs, I can just pay X dollars a month and I can get all these shows. Mm-hmm. But now they're starting to take away the shows and there's 900 subscription services for things.
Yeah.
For all these.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, if any of you have Hulu, they have tier levels for Hulu, right? Like, they have, like, the base rate Hulu where you get some of the shows. And they have, like, a little better Hulu where you get, like, more of the premium option shows. And then they have the good Hulu where you get, like, NFL and stuff. And, like, you can get all the things. So they're stratifying you based on how much you pay for fucking Hulu, right? So this is how they implement the you will own nothing and you will be happy, right? Slowly, with things that you don't need a physical copy of or a physical form. But eventually it's going to be like your lawnmower, your car, your cell phone basically already is that, right? Because what do you do with a cell phone when you don't have a carrier? Nothing. There's nothing to do with it. It's a little shitty computer that you could do some things with, but not really all that great stuff. So it's moving into this point where you can't own anything. Owning stuff doesn't make sense anymore. And so what do you own? You don't own the land, right? Do I own these shirts? Yeah, I own these shirts. I own hundreds of these shirts. But I'm not buying any more shirts. And I'm not wearing Tommy Bahama. Nope. Not wearing Tommy Bahama.
All these different streaming channels, right? And now I'm seeing that they got subscription services now for refrigerators.
Yeah.
For rich people.
Scott says, no, sir. I have all the CDs I got from Columbia House. I never paid the bastards either. Columbia House. He says, if you know, you know. I don't know. I think I vaguely know what that is, but is it some sort of... I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
that's before my time, probably.
Wilding out with their fridges.
The reason I feel like this hits Gen Z particularly hard is because they're the first generation to enter adulthood dominated by subscription models. For a lot of them growing up, they never had DVD collections or a CD player in their room or...
I remember DVDs, right? I remember people go to someone's house and they had like the tower with the DVDs and stuff, and I'd look through them and I was like, oh man, you got this one? This is a good one, man. This is a good one. And I would look at people's DVD collection or Blu-ray, depending on, a lot of people have Blu-ray, and I was like, holy shit. But I would look through that and I'd be like, you got some bangers here, dude. There's some good movies here. But now everyone's got like, there was also a time when people had hard drives, right? And a lot of it was pirated. But then they'd have like 500 movies that were on hard drives. And now it's just like, oh, everything's in the cloud. I have this password. That's what you own? You own a fucking password? That's all you own. You own a password that you made up one day. You don't even a lot of times you don't even make up your password. It comes from a password generator that you have to pay a subscription for. You stop paying for that subscription and you lose your passwords. You don't even own that. You don't even own your own passwords. Damn, dude. And it's all about, it used to be about convenience and stuff. Like, now it's just oppressive. Now it's just like, fuck, I can't own shit. I mean, try to buy a new car. They're like $100,000. Oh, you could buy a used one. But that's not going to be worth it, right? What are you going to spend $40K on a used car? And then it's going to last you a little while, but then it's going to break down. And then that's just that $40K gone. So you got to buy a new one for it to make financial sense. And then it's just like, wow, that's like 80, 90, 100,000. It depends if you're going for something nice like a Raptor. It's like $120,000. So what do? Well, eventually you're going to have to start renting your car. It's expensive now, but I'm sure there's going to be a program that's going to make it a little bit cheaper. But then you're just never going to have a car, right? You can buy a car, and after 5, 6, 7 years, you own it. And you can just maintain that car depending how well you take care of it. You can have that car for a long-ass time. You built equity in that car. You own that car. Owning things is about building a life. They don't want you to build a life. They want you to stay in line. And if you step out of line, even the smallest bit, the teensiest iota, they will eliminate you. Not by shooting you in the head, although that would be pretty easy, but just by canceling everything you own. Canceling your bank. Canceling your payment processors like they did the Canadian truckers up there. Ending you. Right? Making you essentially illegal, like the movie's Logan's Run. It's an old movie, right? Just ending you, and that's it. And then you'll just be homeless or just starve to death. It's not their problem anymore. It's much easier than sending out a hitman. And people get upset. People get upset when, if they were to kill you, people would be mad about that. But if they cut off your payment processor, if they cut off your banking, your Hulu account, everything that makes you able to survive, people aren't going to be like mad about it. I mean, they'll be mad, but they'll be like, what are we going to do? We don't have our own payment processor. We don't own Visa. They're a private company. They can do what they want. Well, no one's got cash anymore, and they're going to start phasing that out too.
Magazines that they wanted in the grocery store. Also, I can hear the boomers now telling me about 8-tracks and vinyls. I get it. I'm just sharing from my childhood. But because of this, they don't have much
Despite what you've heard says, please, John, tell me about Logan's Run. Logan's Run is a movie from the 70s, I believe. And it was about a utopian society where people had this jewel implanted in their hand. And when they got to the age of, I believe, 35, that jewel would start to flash. And then they would go to I think it was like a reawakening, they called it, or something like that, where they would be killed. That way, everybody in society was consistently young. They didn't pay money for like old health care or anything like that. People were useful, productive. I think they called it recycled or something like that. Anyways, Logan, when his jewel started to flash, when his time came, he decided to run, and then they hunted him. It was a manhunt, and that's the movie. I actually haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
physical media to start their adult life with. Instead, it's $10.99 a month for music, $16.49 a month for movies, $3.99 a month to store your memories, $9.99 a month for video games, $9.99 a month for fitness programs, $12.99 a month for dating apps. The list goes on. When subscription models first came onto the scene, it was a welcome change from having to pay full price for everything. It took away the burden of ownership while still maintaining the benefits of media and services. For a small fee each month, you get access to media.
Convenience. It's so convenient, right? When you start giving up your freedoms, it's in the name of convenience. But then you just keep doing that, and then you keep doing that. And eventually it becomes really not convenient. And then you just have to keep feeding the system. And then they own you. They own everything about you. You will never be able to stop working. You'll never be able to save enough money. Your bills will just keep growing. And then you're just going to get poorer and poorer. They're extracting wealth from you. They're making you a slave class. And people are just doing it, right? They're just falling right into it. You know, when they start out, the subscription services are fine. You know, you get like Netflix and stuff and Hulu and all these other things, right? But then they're all like, oh, well, we're going to start pulling some of the shows from Netflix that you've always had for your $8.99 a month. And then you can get like Netflix Plus for $10.99 a month. That's only $2 more, but you get your shows back, right? And those $8.99 a month people, they can live in the squalor that they built for themselves. And then they just keep doing that and keep doing that. They make the base pay worse and worse, and then the normal one more and more expensive. And they just keep extracting wealth from you. And people keep doing it. It's little by little. It's not big sweeping reforms. It's a tiptoe.
Media, applications, and software that you otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. No need to take on maintaining your equipment, dealing with repairs, or
eat steak. Did you ban Boston? What did he say? I don't know.
damages or lost items. All the work is done for you, and you just get to enjoy the convenience of the product. I remember when Apple Music came out, it felt like a game changer because you didn't have to rely on that 10-second preview to show you what.
Don't use your mod powers irresponsibly. I'm not taking mods from anybody, right? Rick, I'm talking to you too. Come on, right? Unless they're really stepping out of line. Try not to go crazy with the ban hammer. Rick, I'm talking specifically to you. I know Eat Steak did that, but Rick, come on.
What the song was, and then pay full price for that song just to find out that the preview wasn't a good representation of the song and you didn't like it.
Okay.
It also
Eat Steak says he called me eat shit and he don't know me that way. I only gave him 5 minutes. Okay, that's fair. I mean, you're a mod. I'm going to let you do that. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah, man.
meant that you didn't have physical copies of media cluttering up your house when you could just stream everything for a small fee each month. It really did feel like a move in the right direction, but as we've learned since then, there are some drawbacks to this model. One of the drawbacks being that every business under the sun is seeing the cash.
I know it was one stream, but if people start taking I'm going to start taking mods away, you know? I'm going to start taking mods away. If people start fucking with it too much, I'm going to start taking mod powers away from
flow
people.
Potential from these subscription models, so they're all trying to get in on it.
I think that corporations and politicians are failing to understand is how much people are getting annoyed with our current iteration of capitalism in the US. Think about the subscription economy. Instead of buying something and paying once, you are now being charged monthly for so many things, right? Or every single business having its own app. So in order to get something done, you need to download.
I hate that, dude. I don't want a stupid app just for like something I'm going to use once. Bethesda, one of them. I don't know, probably both of them. I need to make an account to play any of their games. Like, dude, I'm playing this game on like the PlayStation rental service, which I'm paying a subscription for. And then you want me to like make an account with your website to play this game that I might not even like? No, I don't want to do that. But you have to. And then you make the account and then you play it once and you give them all your information. I hate that. I really do hate that. Then your email gets flooded with bullshit forever. Forever. I hate giving my phone number when I go to a store to buy literally anything. I don't do it. I don't do it. But people are insistent. Like, hey, man, we don't send you anything or anything like that. We just want your, it's a rewards program. You shop here enough, and then, you get like 10% off, and then it goes towards your, your bucks, man. Your stupid bucks. And then after a certain amount of time, you get a free stupid thing. No, man, I don't want to give you my phone number, man. I don't want to give you my phone number. Okay? You ask me every time, and you do this sales pitch every time. I don't give you, let me pay more. Let me pay more so I don't have to give you my fucking phone number. Okay? Is that okay with you? Can I give you extra money so I don't have to give you my fucking phone number? Is that okay? No, they push it. They push it. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. All right? Fuck you. Right there. Because I don't want to give out my personal information every time I buy a pack of gum or something like that. I don't. Okay? Stop being an asshole about it. Just run the card, dude. All right? You don't need to know my address and my name and where did I go to elementary school and all that shit, dude. It's a transaction. I'm never coming back here. All right? I want to fight people sometimes when they ask me for my phone number. And they ask every single time. Sure, I could have saved probably a decent amount of money by now by giving people my phone number. Nope. No, sir. No, thank you. Bill Burr had a good bit about it. He was all like, you just want it for no reason. You want my phone number for no reason. Bullshit. You're up to something. You are up to something. No. They are up to something. They're gathering information. They're not just giving you free money. They're not giving you free money. Your information is worth far more than what you're saving. It is far more. That's why they want it. That's why they want it. Boston, you got to stop pissing people off, dude.
A new app. Both of these things are symptoms of shareholder capitalism.
And Steak, just come on.
Is the idea that companies need to squeeze more and more money out of their customers in order to create more value for their shareholders. AKA, it's just the...
Eat Steak says, I give them fake info. No, you don't. No, you don't. Mm-mm. No, you give them a fake number, right? But you use that fake number every single time, don't you? And they're recording what you bought, when you bought it, what day you bought it, at what store you bought it. They're tailoring your experience. You're giving them a fake number, yeah, and think you're being tricky about it. They don't give a shit about your phone number. They're not calling you. They're trying to put a number on you. It's completely arbitrary what number you give them. It's just a number. It's the data that they're collating that's important to them, right? That's the important part. It's about what they can upcharge and who's not buying things and who is buying things. A lot of people are buying this so they can raise the price on it. Don't give them anything like that. Don't make yourself into a number, into a statistic. Giving them a fake number does nothing. I mean, it might make you feel a little bit better. It increases your security a little bit because I have heard of cases where chicks have gotten dudes' numbers by listening in when that dude buys something, right? Or it could go the other way around, right? Maybe a girl gives her real number and then most girls are terrified of everything. Thank God I'm not a woman because they're just terrified of everything. So they don't give their real number, but some do. Some do. And then, some guy, hey, I got your number. Yeah, from the Walgreens, you gave it to the guy. And so I decided to memorize it because I'm not a psychopath. And then, yeah. But it doesn't matter if you give them a fake number. They know exactly who you are. And a lot of times you can't give them fake information. Go to a Costco. They want your ID. They want a full interview process with you, right? And then when you walk into their stupid little stores, you got to pull out your card and go beep. And you, welcome to the deals, sir. Welcome to the deals. And I'm like, God, I hate doing that. But they do have deals. $1.50 hot dog. I don't even eat hot dogs. But you can't get them unless you give them all your information. And every time you walk in there, every time you buzz that card, everything goes into a database. That data is valuable. Data is oil. It's the new oil. And everybody makes it. Right? Doesn't matter if you make a fake profile or anything like that. That doesn't really matter at the end of the day because they're not like after you. They're after us. They're trying to make us into slaves. Not specifically you. Us. I never give them anything. I say, fuck you. Charge me more. Charge me double. I'll pay it. Just so I don't have to give you a stupid card or a stupid phone number. And I'll walk out of here and then you're going to be like, we'll get them next time. They do get upset with me. People have gotten upset with me at the counter that I'm not giving them my phone number. Well, no, we're not going to do anything with it. We're not going to send you anything. We just want the phone number. We just want the digits. Okay, fucking type something in. I don't give a shit what you do. Just let me leave. I'm going to take my gum and I'm going to leave. Okay? Right now. I'm going to back out of here. And then I will not tell you my name, my phone number. You will probably never see my face again. If I have to come in disguise, I will. I just hate how everything's so invasive. I want to be anonymous sometimes. Is that okay? Not that I'm doing anything or I'm planning on anything. Just sometimes I don't want to be tracked all the time. Is that okay with you? No, apparently not.
Endless pursuit of profit.
Between movies, music, video games, fitness apps, cable television, phone services, cooking apps, educational apps, online magazine, finance apps, and everything else in between, the average American has 4.5 subscriptions and pays an average of $924 a year.
Half a subscription? And I guess that tracks because I have Royce's YouTube account. He has my Hulu account. So we both have people share accounts. So that's but they're really cracking down on that. Remember when Netflix used to be cool with people sharing passwords and then they're all like, oh, you know what? We need to please our shareholders. So we're going to really start cracking down on password use. So we can up it, right? We can double our profits. Used to be able to have several devices on a single account. Nope. Now you have your home. Oh, is this your home? Oh, you want to make this your home network, right? Because you don't want other people using it. I don't care. I don't care. You care. I don't care. I just want to watch the thing that I wanted to watch. But now you're all butthurt because you're not making an additional $8. I know it adds up. But I don't care about your bottom line. I don't give a shit about your investors. I don't. I really hate your investors. I hate them all. Right? They're making money off of me and bothering me for it. They're bothering me for money. And I don't like people who do that.
And that is $1,000 you pay every year and will continue to pay every year for things that you don't actually own. And I am embarrassed to admit that I am just as bad, if not worse, than the average person because I do in fact pay the subscription fee.
Scott, have you been listening? Scott says, why do you not use an alias number, LOL? You can use Google number, LOL. You haven't been listening, have you? Scott, pay attention. Pay attention. It doesn't matter what number you use. You could be, my phone number is 5. Okay, 5. There you go. It doesn't matter what number you use. That's not what they give a shit about. They don't care about your number. They're not calling you, right? It is any number. They're collecting data on you specifically as a customer, right? It is not about your phone number, bro. Okay? All right, keep up.
To the Weather Network app. I'm not saying that my reasoning is justified, but I just want to be able to see if it's going to be sunny or not without being bombarded with ads on every inch of my screen.
That's true, right? And then, I mean, they have like free apps and stuff like that, but they're so clunky and they're like impossible to use. And you get the subscription, but it's only like $2 a year. It's $2 a year. Come on, it's $2 a year. But then everything becomes that. Oh, and then they bump it up. It's $3 a year. It's $5 a year now. Oh, it's like $80 a year now. For the weather, just the weather, yes. Now your Netflix account costs $15,000 a year. And you have to pay it because we have you in a contract.
Sue me. I signed up for that $2 a year.
Oh, you don't know that contract? Yeah. It was in the 8 pages of terms and conditions that you signed. So, gotcha.
So quickly. But this is the perfect example of something that literally does not need to be a subscription. Like, what am I getting that justifies a yearly payment? And on that note, I did just get a notification that they're going to be up.
Scott, you're still not getting it. Scott says use a VPN, man, and fake data, LOL. It's not that difficult. You're still not getting it. You're still not getting it. It doesn't matter. They're not after you, Scott. They're not after you. They're after us. They're not after you, Scott. They're after us as a collective, right? It's not about after you. They're not after, they don't give a shit about Scott. They don't care about Scott, right? There's a million other Scotts out there. They want the collective data of all the Scotts, okay? You are one of the Scotts, all right? You give them any information. You give them anything like that, and then they have that data. It's worth more money than what you save. Do you understand? Your data is worth more money to them than 20% off or a free latte every 10 visits. You know? Do you understand? It's not about your fucking phone number, bro. Okay? They're not calling you. It's about what you buy, when you buy, where you buy it, all of that. It gets collated into one big pile and it gets sent through an AI and some supercomputer. And then they're all like, oh, we can raise the price of this item over here because it's a hot commodity. And we can lower it over here because it doesn't sell as well. The entire thing, man. You got to look big picture. You're thinking too small. You're thinking small picture. You got to look big picture, right? It's not about your specific digits, okay? You give them the fake number. Give them the fake information, all you want. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't, right? And a VPN you should have a VPN anyway. I mean, honestly, you should. Which leads us to our sponsor, ExpressVPN. I'm kidding. Nobody's paying me, ever.
Their yearly fee to, I don't know what it was,
Ever.
like $3 a year. And that just goes to show that those monthly subscriptions
I'm not going to calm down.
now are not a fixed price.
Not going to calm down.
They will continue to go up over the years. This means your $1,000 a year that you're paying now is not going to stay that way. And that brings me to the second drawback, which is that
Ric Flair said BMW heated seats takes the fucking cake. Subscribe to the heaters installed in the car. Yeah. So BMW makes you pay a subscription fee to use the seat heaters in the car that you bought. You bought the car. You own the car. Maybe own it outright, right? It's not even like you didn't even like finance it or anything. You just bought it. You came in with a big bag of cash and you bought it. And then they're like, okay, now it's $30 a month or else you're sitting on cold leather. Like what? What do you mean? All the ingredients are there, man. Just make the fucking cake, right? You're paying a subscription for like the eggs now? No, man. It's a button. It's a button that I hit. And you're just going to turn that off unless I pay you every month? For how long? Forever? Forever? What gives you the right to do that? Well, you bought the car, and so by buying the car, you agreed to our terms and conditions. I didn't. Wait, what? Terms and conditions. I own this car. Yeah, but we kind of own like the idea of the car. You know, we kind of We kind of own the brains and the processing and like the data of the car. Is there a way I cannot do that? No, you can't. We own that. We own it. We own it. So you have to pay us, or else your blinkers won't work, and your seat heaters won't work, and like pretty much nothing about the car will work. It'll turn on, but it won't go anywhere. Yeah, you know, the autopilot on Tesla, that'll stop working. You got to pay a fucking subscription. Maybe not now, but soon, definitely. And it'll be your AI driver, right? Just $30 a month. And you get your personalized AI driver. But why? I already own everything about it. I own this car. I own the computers and stuff in this car. It came with the software, and you're changing it from somewhere without my permission. How are you changing the thing that I bought without my permission? That's not fair. What? I agreed to it? It's very dangerous when they send you like a new terms and conditions every couple months, and it's like 8 pages long, and even if you were able to read it, you wouldn't even understand it, right? You wouldn't see how it pertains to you. At least 99% of people wouldn't. Maybe if you were a lawyer, you'd be able to be like, well, this is bullshit, I'm not signing it. And they're like, okay, you don't get to use the phone. You don't get to use Apple. Your iPods are just useless now. Yeah. Right? 99% of people won't give a shit. Right? But that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. It's stupid. You give them everything, man. You bought that and you own it. But then they're all like, yeah, you own it, but you can't use it unless you pay us. Just like property tax. I own this, but I can't live here unless I pay you. Why? Who said that was cool? When I was born, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree that I would not own anything. The boomers owned tons of shit. They owned several houses. You know, when they bought their houses, maybe property tax was a thing, but I kind of doubt it. But even if it was a thing, it wasn't enough for them to get pissed off about. When we founded this country, 2% tax on tea. That's what sent people nanners. They dressed up like Indians and started throwing tea into a harbor. They went absolutely bananas on 2%. And now everything we have to pay for constantly on top of taxes. You can't even own shit.
That if you actually want to keep the things that you care about, like your photos, your music, your movies, your dating apps, hopefully not that one, but if you want to keep those things, then you have to pay these fees for the rest of your life. Think about that. You're only paying $9.99 a month for this vast library of media, but that's $10 a month for, say, 50 years with no accumulation of media that's actually under.
Scott says, never miss a chance to file with a class action lawsuit, especially with fake emails. LOL. He's right. Class action lawsuits, sometimes they can really pay off. I mean, a lot of times you might get a check in the mail for like $8 or something like that. But hey, that's $8. But sometimes you might get like $500. I don't do it because I don't care. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fill out a bunch of, I'm not doing that.
They're your own
but he's right.
Ownership. I'm just not sure if the math is mathing.
Everything, it cannot be bought. It can only be licensed on a monthly basis. And what happens is you never get to a point where like those costs trail off. Like those costs are forever. They're in perpetuity every month until the end.
I'm sorry. Boston, are you still here? Or did Eat Steak ban you to hell? Eat Steak, that's not cool. You can't, I mean, just because they piss you off, you can't do that. Come on.
Of the universe. And that's something like your folks or your grandparents didn't have to deal with. Because back in the day, like, not even a house, but let alone other things you could just buy outright. Like, you can't just buy Adobe anymore. You have to join one of their subscription plans. You can't just buy Microsoft Excel software. You have to stream spreadsheets now.
Say you've been subscribed to Apple Music since they launched 10 years ago. That's $1,300 you've spent on music.
Eat Steak says, I banned him for 2 5-minute sessions. He didn't piss me off. He was rude for no reason. So he did piss you off, right? And then you banned him twice. I mean, modding is for banning things like spam and stuff, not like holding power over people, okay? Don't do that. Yes, people are going to say things that you disagree with. And if I say ban them, then ban them. But you can't ban them just because you didn't like what they said, even if they were rude to you. That's not what mods are for. You know, it's because you're going to whittle away and then it's just going to be Eat Steak, right? You can't do that, dude.
Music that you don't own. Maybe for some that's worth it, like if you're a huge music snob and you're listening to different music every day. But if we're anything like previous generations, as we get older, we will just stick to the music of our youth, therefore not benefiting from these subscription models. It's not like our parents are jumping on the new Sabrina Carpenter album, so are we going to be getting excited about the new Gen Beta? Is that what they're called? Gen Beta? The new Gen Beta pop star? I'm just not sure. I feel like at a certain point, we're just going to have a fixed library of music we listen to that we're overpaying for. I'm not saying all this to try and convince you to cancel your music subscription. I'm not going to be doing that either. It's just to show you that these subscriptions...
Eat Steak says I'm not mad and he's not banned. No, you muted him for 5 minutes twice because you were upset because he called you eat shit. And I understand that was rude, but that's not, I mean, you know, and now he's gone and he's not coming back. I mean, he'll come back probably on another show, but that's not how you use the mod power. That's abuse of power. Come on.
Models are not made in the interest of the consumer, but of course of the big corporations that are trying to squeeze every last penny out of you. Something that is, however, made in the interest of the consumer is today's sponsor, Pair Eyewear. Now, Pair Eyewear isn't just any glasses company. They are changing the game in tortoise and their top frames starting at $20 library just because you pay monthly for it. But it's more that you don't have any rights to this media even though you're paying. For example, your perfectly curated Spotify playlist can just disappear on you for no reason.
It's a full-time job and it's extremely time consuming and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
Many people
recreating Spotify playlists. That's a full-time job for you. Really? Why do you not have anything better to do than recreate Spotify playlists? I don't use Spotify because I don't really listen to tons of music. I play music and I like music. I don't listen to tons of music because I don't know. I don't really have the time. But that's your thing. You spend all day making Spotify playlists. That sounds chill. That sounds like a chill thing to do. I mean, not effective or like helpful in any way, but okay, you do you.
Have complained about this, that their accounts got hacked and they lost all their music. But also if you violate the terms of service, Spotify can just delete your account. This actually did happen with someone, not on Spotify, but on Kindle. In the book, The End of Ownership, they share a story that a Norwegian Kindle customer lost dozens of ebooks she bought from Amazon. They simply vanished without notice when Amazon erased her Kindle, citing unspecified abuse of its policies. Our best guess is that Lynn ran afoul of those policies because she lived in Norway, a territory in which Amazon had not yet launched its Kindle store. But we can't say for sure, since Amazon never bothered to tell her. To be clear, she didn't pay with a stolen credit card, she didn't hack Amazon servers to get her ebooks for free, she simply made her purchases from the wrong country.
And so Amazon could just be like, no, and I guarantee you Amazon didn't return her money, right? It was just like, yeah, we have your money now, but you're not going to get the product because we said blah, 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 right? And they could just trail off like that. You can't do that. You can't just take somebody's stuff and not return their money. That's stealing. That's stealing. Imagine if Amazon broke into your house and just started stealing your books. That's stealing, isn't it? But if you have it on one of their approved devices that's hooked up to Wi-Fi and stuff, they're all like, oh, well, we're just going to turn off your account. And now you can't read any of those books. There are books anyway. Because you gave us money to buy the books, but you don't really own the books, do you? No, we own the books. And you bought the privilege to read them that we revoked. How do you get around that? How do you get around that? You print everything out? Well, no, you can't, because there's probably some sort of block where you can't print them out. Yeah, you're a slave. That's it. If they like you and you act nice, they'll allow you to keep your stuff. But if they don't like you, they'll take everything you have.
After a worldwide spat of critical news coverage, Amazon relented and restored Lynn's purchases. But Amazon's technical ability and legal authority to take away your...
Eat steak, don't get fucking butthurt. Dude, it's not... Okay. Dude, you're on the internet, for God's sakes. You don't think you're going to get insulted at all? You know how many insults I get all the time? I mean, that's like most of the comments I receive on Daywave and here and on Twitter. It's part of the internet, okay? You can't abuse. I gave you a mod power. You can't abuse that, dude. All right? That's not okay. It's not your chat. All right? Just because someone insults you doesn't mean you get the right to ban them or mute them or stuff like that. No, it's for a specific reason. Don't get your feelings hurt, okay? That's ridiculous. All right? He's gone anyway. It doesn't matter, all right? It's over.
Ebooks remain unchanged. And this situation is the same for all digital services you pay for. Since Kindle runs its software through Amazon, Amazon can send instructions to your Kindle at any point to change or even delete the contents. And this is the same situation for all digital services you pay for. So everything can be gone at any point. Technically. Even services like Amazon Books, where you're clicking buy now to purchase an individual book, you still don't own it. You're actually just licensing it. And so if you break any of the rules of these companies, like purchasing from the wrong country, but also like posting a negative review, they can just take your stuff away. This means that your right...
Steak, listen, Boston donates to this show. And just because he pisses you off doesn't mean you get to mute him, okay? That's it, right? He donates to this show, and then now he's not donating to this show because you muted him because he made you angry, right? I don't get paid because he made you angry. That makes me angry. You understand? You understand why that's an abuse of power?
Rights to your media are not determined by how much you're paying for them, but by the 20-page document you agree to when you sign up for the apps. Another example of this was not from an individual customer, but from a singular book that was removed from anyone's library who had purchased it.
Knobsock says, yeah, Bohemian Jonathan doesn't get butthurt when he's called gay for being gay. Exactly. You know why? Because I'm not fucking gay. And that's just it. And this is the fucking internet. And so we don't need to get all fucking butthurt all the goddamn time. All right? The mod powers are specifically for spammers and then like raiders and stuff like that. Like people from other chats that come in just to insult and to like derail shit. It's not because you disagree with somebody else who comes here pretty regularly and donates. You know? That's the thing. You can ban somebody who doesn't donate. I don't give a shit, okay? But you don't ban, don't mute, or like don't do stuff like that, because then I don't make much on this show, okay? And now I'm probably not going to make anything tonight. Maybe he was going to donate, maybe he wasn't. But it doesn't matter, because now he's definitely not. Because you decided that he made you mad. You see, I'm going to have to reel in these mod,
Back in 2009, Amazon deleted the book 1984 from every Kindle that had it.
Nope, Scott, not gay. Not gay. I'm not gay.
Have the rights to
Nope, I'm married and I have kids and stuff.
sell it in the United States.
You're gay, though.
But it does raise the concern over your lack of control of digital media when, in comparison, retailers of physical books can't just come to your house and take your book back. And the sad part of this, like I said, is that these rules are incorporated in pretty much every subscription service you pay for.
Background noise says, if you're gay for long enough, then the butt hurt goes away. That's true. That's true. It just becomes all, it's this. That's it, right? There's no pain at that point. It's just all, it's hello, hello, hello. It gets very echoey in there, but you're not butthurt anymore. You're still gay, but you're not butthurt anymore. And this is the internet. And for God's sakes, we're adults, I assume. I assume we're all adults here. People can get insulted. What is the internet for besides hurling insults at each other? You know? I will insult each and every one of you.
If you buy a movie from Amazon or Google, that movie can just be...
No, Knobs Dog, I will never give you mod abilities. You will never be a mod in my chat, Knobs Dog, because I don't want people who disagree with the Bohemian John idea to get banned.
Moved if
I know you will misuse that.
The right holder decides to. But also, if the Google Movie platform just isn't profitable anymore, they can just shut the app down and therefore removing your access to your movies. A similar example of this happening was with the Google Nest that was introduced in 2017 and then discontinued in 2020 because they were going in a different direction with their business. And because this technology is
Yeah, so those rings and those nests and stuff like that, they're in your house and you pay a subscription and they like control your thermostat like the Nest ones do, right? They control your thermostat and they also like take in a lot of data. You know, they have microphones on the thermostats, not just the doorbell cams, but like the thermostats inside your house. They have microphones on them. Your TV has a camera on it, right? And they say it's for adjusting to light conditions in your house, but it's a 1080p camera and it can see exactly what you're doing in your living room. So, but if you cover it up, then your TV doesn't work, right? So, yeah, they're gathering data on you. What you're doing, how much electricity you're using, when you're home, when you're not home, what you're playing with, if you're gay or not, right? If they see you're gay, you're having butt sex with a dude, they're going to send you a bunch of prep commercials, aren't they? Everything is tailored to make you buy as much as possible. That's why you get a discount when you give them your phone number, right? That's why, because it's more profitable for them to get your information than you getting a 20% or whatever discount every time you give them your phone number. They make quite a bit more money.
Software-based system, your product will eventually become obsolete as there's no software support. And this can happen with any technology that we take for granted as being here forever. Realtors might simply stop supporting their cloud offerings if they're no longer profitable, or they might go under altogether. A future without Apple and Amazon is hard to imagine, but so was one without Lehman Brothers, Enron, and Woolworths. And the fortunes of even the most highly valued technology companies are volatile. Just ask Yahoo, MySpace, or Apple.
There you fucking baby.
So since filming
there, Knobs, I gave it to you. You now have it. You have the moderator ability. Everyone's a fucking moderator now. And when you start yelling at each other and then everyone gets fucking banned from my chat and then I'm just screaming at a camera that no one can actually watch because everyone's fucking banned. Yeah, let's just make it like that. Let's make this a petty bullshit fight.
the TikTok ban actually happened, which is a perfect example
You got
of
it,
how
Knobs.
a major
It's
platform
yours.
we rely on can just vanish overnight. While the ban was in the works for years, we didn't know if it would go through, and as the date approached, people realized that this
David Thoreau says there was a murder case. Cops asked Amazon for the previous 24 hours. Amazon said they didn't record. Subpoena, and they turned over the recording. Oh, so they did record. Yes, of course they were recording. They're always recording. Right? They might not turn it over because they want to, it might not be prudent for them because then everyone's going to realize that they were recording, you see. And then people typically don't like being recorded against their will. But you always are. Every minute of every day, you're being recorded. It doesn't matter if you think you're alone or like, you're never alone. You are never alone. You have your phone on you. This has microphones. This has cameras. They're always recording. They're recording me right now. See? Every time you look at your phone, it takes a picture of your face. That's how it unlocks, right? It takes a picture of your face. It's recording you aging. And it helps the facial recognition software. Everything is always recording you.
This meant that they would be losing all of the content that they had in their saved files. Not
Thank
that
you,
it's the end of
Scott.
the world, but it still is.
But I
media
also
that
hate you,
valued
Scott.
enough to save, like recipes, cleaning hacks, crafting ideas, but even
He says,
more
I'll never stop watching your stream, sir. And I'm like, I hate you.
practical things. Like a creator I follow that's pregnant said that she was going to lose all the saved birthing.
JD Grabs says being a mod makes you gay. So he's really turning the tables on this one. He's really turning the tables. If people offend you in the chat and you're a mod, don't be like, well, I'm banning you because you offended me. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If I say ban them, then yes, ban them. But don't do that because they offended you. Because, like I said, they might donate, and then I don't get donations.
And positions.
So that makes me angry.
She had in a folder. Like, yes, you can go download all these TikToks, but for a lot of people, they have thousands of saves,
Hey,
which
Strawberry.
is just too much to download with such short notice. On top of that, even when TikTok did come back
Starving
online 12
autist.
hours later, which was quite the power
not everyone's being a mod. All right, I'm not going to make everybody a mod. All right, because apparently my cult is filled with children. And they can't get along enough. If I give everyone mod powers, it's just going to become a nightmare. I'm going to really honestly rethink how many mods I have, right? I didn't think it was a big deal, but how many mods? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 mods. I have 10 mods. One of them's my wife. I trust my wife. But like, I mean, the rest of you, the only one that misused it so far was Eat Steak. That was a misuse of power. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
People have been saying that the app hasn't been
Banned in
the same since,
Sulkistan.
with speculation of increased censorship with the switch in political parties in the States. It just goes to show that these social media companies can change anything at any given.
Starving Honest says anyone that genuinely asks to be a mod is gay. Knob's dog? Are you gay? Are you gay, Knob? You seem to wear a lot of Tommy Bahama shirts, or at least be a big advocate for the brand. Does that make you gay? I think it does.
Moment, and we shouldn't rely on them to be the sole guardians of our content.
The
Now,
Bahama
if this
John
seems crazy or
Empire.
unfair that you don't actually have the rights to the things you're purchasing, it's because it kind of is crazy and unfair. So I want to give a little backstory on how we've strayed away from owning.
Knob's Dog says the Starving Artist, it was a joke from the other day. You know what, Knob's Dog? You don't even have to explain it. Fucking ban Starving Artist. Ban him, right? He's got the gold whale and everything. So you know he donates. So why not fucking ban him, all right? Because I don't need to get paid, right? I'm just doing this for my fucking kicks, aren't I? I don't get paid on Daywave. You guys know that, right? I don't get fucking paid a dime on Daywave. This is the only place I get paid. This is the only place I make any money, okay? So why not just fucking ban everybody? Because I don't know how to delegate power.
The things that we buy. What I've learned is that having the right
Jesus.
of ownership over the things that you've purchased is not a given, but something that courts and Congress have fought for the consumer. Laws like the exhaustion doctrine were put into place to limit what patent holders could control over their products after the purchase was made to the consumer. Under the doctrine, once an authorized sale of patented article occurs, the patent holder's exclusive rights to control the use and sale of that article are said to be exhausted. And the purchaser...
Yeah, on your phone you can't. I don't think you can do stuff. You have to be on your computer to do stuff like, and that's just Rumble being Rumble. Can you donate on your phone? I think you can. I'm pretty sure I've donated on my phone. So yeah, I don't know if you can mod on your phone though, which is a weird thing. Why can't you do that?
is free to use or resell that article without further restraint from patent law. This is why when we buy something like a DVD, we have the right to loan it to a friend, sell it to someone else, make a new cover for it, or even burn a different movie onto the disc. Under the exhaustion doctrine, you are free to do whatever you want with your property as long as it's within copyright laws. Exhaustion is the reason we have used record stores and bookstores. It's the reason we have public libraries and eBay. It's the reason we can lend a novel to a friend and leave our record collections to loved ones in our wills. It's the reason.
And what? Eat Steak bailed now too, right? Because she got she got mad because I got mad at her. And now that's two people. That's two. That's two people. I'm pretty sure Eat Steak donates too. Two.
Museums can display their paintings
I'm
using
not mad.
wallpaper software. The doctrine of exhaustion
I am
ensures
mad.
that the original author or publisher cannot prevent any of these actions. The exception
David Thoreau says Rick banning everyone at the end of the day of the stream the other day was hilarious. And that was a joke, right? We all understood that was a bit. Okay? And it was at the end of the show. So, you know, not everyone got pissed off, and then I'm just sitting here talking to myself in this empty room. You know, I think it's just, you don't misuse the ban powers, the mod powers, okay? It's just, yes, Rick did it as a joke. Eat Steak did not do that as a joke. And now I'm going to have to talk to her. And I'm going to be like, dude, you can't do that, right? And then she's all butthurt now. And I kind of feel bad because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But also, fucking Boston didn't do anything but call her eat shit, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Thank you, background noise. God damn, finally. You know, hold on. I'll get the bell. Hold on. Here's the bell. Gotta dust it off. There we go. Background noise, give me $10. This is for band hammers. I hear they can cost a lot. Yeah! Apparently they can. Apparently they can. Thank you so much, dude.
If you were to photocopy a book and try and sell it, then you're infringing on copyright law.
I don't want
to.
I don't want to like upset. I do want to upset people, right? But like, I consider you guys friends in a way, in a way, and so I don't want to like piss you off. But come on, you guys. Like, if I give you some sort of power like that or some sort of responsibility, I need you guys to like take it seriously and like not fuck me, right? Because that all that did was fucked me, right? Who knows if either of them are ever coming back? I sure don't, right? All that did was fuck me. And I don't want to be fucked, okay? I'm not actually gay.
A system that worked so well for us previously.
I know you guys think that because of my Tommy Bahama wear, but no.
It kind of got messy when we entered the digital era. With the adoption of media online, the lines got kind of blurry of what is or isn't infringing on the rights of the copyright holder. Again, with the
despite what you've heard says, you can't get rid of me or hurt my feelings. You want to challenge me like that? You want to challenge? First of all, I can get rid of you. I can ban the shit out of you, right? I'm a mod too. I can ban the shit out of you. But I don't want to do it the easy way. I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to hurt your feelings despite what you've heard. I'm going to have to work on that. Give me a week.
DVD example, with that copyright law, you're not allowed to make
I don't know how to do it now.
DVD, which is easy enough when you just have a physical version of it, but it's basically impossible to avoid when you're giving people digital media because computer systems make copies of files just from moving them around. For example, the RAM processing in our computers makes copies of these files that only last for a second, or so I'm told by the internet, but they still violate the copyright laws because of this. And so in response to this, companies coupled their copyright law with
you know what I
licensing
meant?
to
Bring it
provide
on.
real protection.
All right, guys. Everyone hurt despite what you've heard's feelings. I hurt his feelings. I hurt them good. Do it. I give thine the powers. There you go.
Over copying. And despite Congress eventually adding software to the Copyright Act, which protects both the copyright holders and the buyers, licensing has just become commonplace in the software world because it provides far more control over the usage of products. All of this I learned in the book, The End of Ownership. If you're interested in learning more about it, it was very interesting. I did not just know all this on my own.
But seriously,
I am not a techie.
Why be on the internet and be like, why, if you get your feelings hurt like that, and somebody just, I think Knobs Dog just banned despite what you've heard. Stop that. Stop it. Stop that. You can't just ban everybody in my chat.
By
any
means.
That makes my chat boring. And I don't want my chat to be boring. It's like at least 25% of my show. Maybe not even that much. I talk a lot. All right. But I am interested in what you idiots have to say from time to time.
But I really did like the backstory. But what all of this means is that even with the exhaustion doctrine...
Scott says, I want my gold star. I've driven John to hate me. I don't give out gold stars for that. But you would get that, Scott. You would get a big old gold star right on your forehead, right? Or on like an arm patch or something like that, so you could be identified in public.
In place, we have basically no rights to our media because licensing is ruling the software world.
What are these diamonds, by the way? Does anybody know what these diamonds are?
And we sign our life away when we sign those contracts. And this is how we
What
found
are they?
ourselves with subscription models on things that probably shouldn't have them, like the Weather Network. And the problem doesn't stop with digital media, but wherever there's software integrated into a product.
Can someone please explain to me how it is legal that the Snoo company has introduced a subscription for existing customers? I bought my Snoo before they introduced the subscription model.
The Snoo? I hate... It's called the Snoo. A Snoo. Snoo. I hate stuff like this. Like stuff marketed to mothers and it's got a cutesy name and like, oh, it's a Snoo. It's my Snoo. There's other things like swaddles and they have cutesy, stupid little fucking names. Just call it a pillow, man. It's a pillow. This is a bassinet. Call it a bassinet. Right? It's a Snoo. No, it's not. It's just a bassinet. It's a different kind of bassinet, but don't call it a Snoo. Don't call it a Snoo. It's a bassinet. Okay? I know you want to have cutesy things, and there is some level of like people, oh, you have a Snoo? Oh, that's cute. Blah, blah, blah. Ugh.
I paid like $1,200 for my Snoo, so it was not a
I'm sorry, you paid what for that? You paid $1,200 for that. $1,200. $1,200 for that wastebasket on coat hangers? Is that what that? My God. What the? $1,200. God, man. I hate the Snoo. I hate the Snoo. You know what it is? It's an elitist thing, right? Because other women say, oh, you have the Snoo? I couldn't afford the Snoo. And then she's like, yeah, I have the Snoo. Have you priced out baby strollers? Some of those baby strollers cost more than cars. They can get wild. Absolutely wild. And it's not that they stroll a baby better or anything like that. It's purely for to make other women jealous. That's all it's for, right? Sure, they are a little nicer. They have nicer bearings and stuff. They're well built and stuff, but they're not worth like some are $1,800, an insane amount of money. Like for a stroller, you don't need that. You don't need that, and the baby doesn't care. No, the mom cares though, right? Because she can show it off to other moms. That's the entire point. This is a basket on coat hangers. That's all this is. It might cost $10 to make in the Philippines. At best. And then, you call it a cutesy name like a Snoo, and then you sell it to like these well-to-do upper scale moms and stuff like that, and you charge $1,200. Damn, I'm in the wrong business. I need to be selling Snoos. That's stupid. You're stupid. You're a stupid person.
cheap purchase. And if I knew that it was going to be behind a subscription model, I might have made a different choice. It just feels like a bit of a bait and switch. Am I the only one who thinks this? Like, how is this fair or legal? It just doesn't make sense to me.
There's a big issue in the car market right now where some of the higher end vehicles are implementing subscription models to use some of their features like heated seats. BMW, I'm looking at you. Or John Deere tractor owners came to the unfortunate realization that even though they spent thousands of dollars on their tractors, the license to the software put limitations on who can or can't work on the tractor.
She said thousands of dollars on her tractors. John Deere's go for like 80 grand, right? This This is a combine tractor, right? This is 80 grand at least, right? And then you can only have certain people work on it and stuff. Man, that's, oh, geez. I'd be pissed. But, I mean, you buy a John Deere. They're good tractors. I don't know. I'm not a fucking farmer. Why would I even say that?
Tractors, aka only authorized dealers for critical repairs. Your choice is either to take your tractor to an approved shop, often at a great inconvenience and personal expense.
Yeah, an approved shop. Like, okay, I used to drive a Range Rover. Okay? The only place you can get that shit serviced is at an approved Range Rover dealership. The closest one to me is 90 miles away. Okay? I can't drive 90 fucking miles to get my oil changed, right? But you have to, because you go take it to a normal oil change place and they're like, oh, we don't have the specific part to turn the thing, right? And so you got to go do it. So you have to do it there. So you have to drive. It's your whole day. It's your whole fucking day. So no. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Or to essentially hack it, a violation of John Deere's mandatory licensing agreement, punishable by the company revoking your license for use. And it doesn't stop there, of course, like when Keurig put out their new machines that initially refused to brew any non-Keurig coffee, or when HP implemented their payment programs to use their printers. And no, it's not a payment plan for the ink, but for the number of pages you can print each month, when you've already bought the printer and the ink yourself. Crazy. It seems like everything is heading in the direction of taking the purchasing power away from the consumer and just extorting every revenue stream possible. Before we move on, I want to say this isn't to make you panic that you don't own anything, because you don't, but it's so important to have that awareness that even though you bought something, it doesn't mean you have any.
David Thoreau says $750,000, 200,000 pound combine breaks in a field, tow it to the dealer. How do you do that? I mean, how do you do that? That's like, damn, 750 G's? I mean, combines are pretty big, and I guess they're worth it. Jeez.
Rights to it. And that is the future Gen Z has to deal with. Brought it right back around. We're seeing this every year, that with each technological advancement, software is being added to things that never needed it before.
Knobsdog says, I'm waiting for that agate Rick to speak up. Why? So you can ban him? So you can ban him? So everyone gets banned. Who? Okay. Background noise. He was the only one that has donated tonight. Ban everybody else. Ban everybody else gets a ban. And then it's just me. There you go. There you fucking go.
Like your fridges are now smart fridges.
That was fast. That was really fast. That was really good, guys. You really, I mean, Knobsdog, another moderator, got banned. So everyone's just fighting.
I guess it's been smart TVs for a while.
Let's just do that. Let's just have a ban war. I'm gonna make everybody a mod, and then when you come into my chat, everyone's just gonna start banning each other, and it's gonna be completely reckless. That's what it's gonna do. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault for trusting you guys.
But still, in doing so, your ownership is
it's a mod
taken
fight.
Away from.
It's a mod fight, and everyone's banning everyone else. And like, okay, all right, yeah, sure, why not?
More and more commonplace items. The next problem causing Gen Z to own nothing is the rise of the buy now, pay later platforms. Now, these platforms have been around for a while, but their usage by Gen Z
it's a complete
has
shit
blown
show.
up.
It's a complete shit show. And after this, I'm going to, there we go, background noise, just shoring up his, he's just shoring it up. So he's like, I don't want to get banned, all right? So he gave another $10. And he says, bring out the band sledge. It's just going to be background noise. It's just going to be me and him in here, right? Everyone else is going to leave because they keep getting muted for stupid bullshit. And then, sometimes it's jokes. Sometimes it's hurt feelings. Sometimes it's blah, blah, blah. But it's just going to be me and background noise. Thanks for the $10, dude. 20 now. That's 2.
It is no surprise.
At least I'm making something tonight. At least I made that. I made $20. I will take that all day long. $20, I'm good for me. I'm happy, right? Because I was doing this for a long time, making no money. So ban everybody else except for background noise. And you know what, background noise? How about this? I'm going to do this for you. Background noise is now a mod. There you go. So there you go, background noise. Now you're in it.
But
now everyone's a mod, and everyone can fight each other.
3% of Gen Z missed one payment in 2021.
Afterpay was the first player in the game.
You donate. You give me $10, and I will make you a mod right now.
Now in 2014,
I will make you a mod. You give me $10, I'll make you a mod.
And integrating seamlessly into online realtors' checkouts. When the pandemic hit, the increase in online shopping accelerated the adoption of buy now, pay later, therefore leading to the birth of...
I was trying to talk about how people are getting squeezed out of the middle class. But no, this turned into a mod fight. This is a mod fight, and everyone's going to be a mod, and everyone's going to be pissed at each other, and then my channel is going to die. Right? But hey, I made $20.
Of other companies like Clora and Affirm. And as our world has only continued to merge with the internet over the years, we're now...
Knobs, dog, don't you dare. Don't you dare ban background noise. Don't you dare. Because, okay, there we go. Despite what you... Hold on. There we go. Despite what you've heard, says, play a fun video and make me a mod too. Best show ever. Oh, God, you guys are fucking idiots. All right. Jesus. Ric Flair's hair, who is already a mod, says, Poor's dog needs to get that whale badge. Okay. Thanks for the $20 from both of you. And despite what you've heard, I'm gonna, yeah. That's what here we go. Okay, despite what you've heard is now a mod. There we go. Now, despite what you've heard is a mod, background noise is a mod, Ric Flair's a mod, Knob's a mod, everyone's a mod. This is just a chat full of mods.
Most retail.
And what video, do you have a video for me to play? Is this too boring? Are the mod fights not exciting enough for you? Despite what you've heard? I don't know. Here, let's, because why not? Why not? Let's do, I'm just picking a random one.
In 2012, a man
Let's
named
do that
Mario
one. How about
Santos
that?
Alves walked
Because
into
fuck
a
this
bodybuilding
stream.
gym in Goiânia,
Fuck
Brazil.
this stream.
As he
I don't
made
know
his way through
what's
the gym,
happening.
He noticed that many
Jesus
of the men
Christ.
working out had massive arms that were almost cartoon-like in size. Curious and interested in becoming as big as possible,
This is the weird direction that we're going. Oh my, I've lost complete control. I've lost all control.
Asked them what they did to build their
And
arms.
Ric Flair has been
That was
banned.
when they introduced him to something called synthol. This substance, a mixture of oil, alcohol, and lidocaine, is injected into the muscles to enlarge them without the need for extra exercise.
Couch Tripping says, what's happening right now? Honey, just get out of the chat. Just get out of the chat. I will talk about it afterwards. And it's going to be a big, long story. You're going to need a latte. And it's going to...
Romario started injecting himself regularly and found the immediate results to be addicting. But that added size didn't...
Oh, by the way, everyone's a mod now. Did I make David is David a mod? Is David... Okay, David, you're a mod now. Why not? David, the rope. There we go. That's on me, right? David, that one's on me.
Come without
Scott, never you, Scott. I hate you, Scott.
Price. After taking synthol for under a year, small rocks started to form in his biceps due to the calcification of the muscle tissue in synthetic oil. He experienced tremendous daily pain and was told by his doctor that they were going to have to amputate his arms. Romario fell into a deep depression and even attempted to unalive himself before...
Scott says a latte and a shot of vodka. So Just drinks these espresso martinis, and I hate them. I like, because I'll stay up all night. Like, they'll get you turned, right? But she likes espresso martinis. Try it. Try an espresso martini. They're honestly pretty good. But yeah, I don't like them because when I'm drinking to black out. And they don't let you black out. They could just keep you up. And then you're just making bad decisions all night. Yeah.
For the procedure. But when he went in to get a CAT scan, he was graced with a fortunate
Why
stroke
does
of
he
luck.
have 3 biceps? I don't know, dude. He's just all muscle. It's not even muscle. It's oil, right? He's like Saudi Arabia with all the oil he has. It's
After
crazy.
reviewing the results, the doctor told him that they did not have to amputate his arms, but they would have to perform surgery to get rid of the calcification.
So, you're all buff and stuff, and now they're gonna have to take your arms. But I imagine like you're still gonna have a well-defined torso, which is gonna look hilarious, right? You don't have any arms, but you're still like chiseled. You got that nice V cut. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And so is this show. This is a crazy, insane show.
Although Romario doesn't dabble with
What is this? What is that up here? What is this?
synthol anymore, his desire to become a professional bodybuilder remains and led him to explore other types of substances.
Knobsdog says Bahama John's pirate ship has gotten away from him. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a mutiny either. It's not that they're against me. It's that they're against each other, right? I made everybody first mate, and now they're all competing to be the best first mate. So it's kind of pointless.
Like horse tranquilizer. There are
But hey, couch surfing's a mod, so if anybody wants to ban my wife, go ahead.
many other stories like Romario of men who are
Why can you even ban other mods? I don't
unsatisfied with their
don't even
physiques,
get it.
going to extreme measures
I don't
to
get
appear
it.
like Greek gods or Marvel
Ew,
characters.
dude!
But some of them
It looks like he had a loaf of bread in his arm. Dude. That looks like that's a loaf of bread in your arm. That is a fucking square. Look at that thing. That is not a muscle. That's not muscle. So synthol is oil and it doesn't leave your body. So like anything that never leaves your body, it must be really good for you. That is not muscle. If they tried to lift anything, they couldn't because oil is not muscle. So they're weak as shit, but they look ridiculous while being weak as shit. I could beat the solid fuck out of this guy easily. But I mean, why would you do this to yourself? Why would you do this to you? This is a mental health issue.
like Greek gods or Marvel characters, but some of them don't end up being as lucky as he was. For the average person, this might seem incomprehensible. How could someone become so addicted to the idea of being big that they resort to drugs that they know will ruin their life? But the trend of pursuing an increasingly unattainable physique has begun to spread to a more vulnerable demographic. Young teenage boys. Bigorexia, a body dysmorphic disorder where an individual obsesses over their muscle mass, has reached a level of
Bigorexia is, I mean, exactly what it sounds like. It's anorexia, but you're big, so you constantly think you're not big enough. And the bigger you get, the smaller you think you are, and so people just get like freakishly huge, and then you have to do so many steroids. You have to do like a lot of steroids. And like the thing about steroids is it's hard to do a lot of steroids. Like it's difficult to do a lot of doing steroids is not just as easy as taking drugs. It's not. You have to like do an entire injection ceremony. And for people to get this big, they have to do that sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And that's a pain in the ass. Pun intended, honestly. You know what? Because I intend every pun I make. Because you inject it in your ass oftentimes. But you don't have to. You can inject it literally anywhere. But yeah, then you're just constantly pinning is what they call it. You're constantly pinning. And then you have to go to the gym. And then, because if you take steroids and don't go to the gym, you're just going to get fat, dude. Well, no, you will gain muscle, but you're going to gain weight. I mean, you do gain muscle if you just sit around, but it's not going to be good for you. It'll be bad. It'll be bad for your like heart and stuff. But they go to the gym twice a day for like 4 hours each. Arnold Schwarzenegger did tons of steroids, right? Obviously, of course he did. So, yeah, and he was in the gym 8 hours a day. It was his job. It was his job, right? To get that big. It's not just inject steroids and then you're going to get huge. It takes a lot of work. Even with steroids, it takes a lot of work, right? You can't just inject steroids and then you're huge. You have to put in the work. And that's it. So I don't really see steroids as like cheating, because people think that you just get big if you just take, but you don't. You have to also go to the gym. Otherwise, you're just going to get fat.
Of serious concern in the fitness industry. One study estimates that 1 in 10 bodybuilders are affected by bigorexia, and other studies have estimated that.
All right, so that's the bell, and Ric Flair is back from the grave and says for $2 says donate 20 and get banned. What the fuck? Welcome to the Mod Wars. And I'm sorry, you're supposed to say every single time.
Prevalence of muscle dysphoria was 5.9%.
No one is safe. No one is safe. Nobody is safe here. Okay? I might get banned. I'll mute myself. Hold on. There we go.
Among college students, and between 13.6% and 44% among male weightlifters. Why is there such a large gap between the actual numbers? Well, partly because it isn't being talked about enough, but also because it's very hard to identify. Most people with—
You know why this is also stupid? This is stupid because I made like this is a good night for me. I made like $65 tonight. And it's like for you guys to fight.
This condition
okay, whatever.
appear outwardly healthy, but inside they are dealing with a mental battle that can lead to severe depression and anxiety. How do
Strawberry,
I know?
don't do
Because
that. Strawberry says, John, we can still hear you. Don't do that. Right? If I mute myself, and then you're going back and be like, oh, we hear you. No.
I was one of those men too. So let's try to shine some light on this under-researched realm of body dysmorphia
I hate this
and
show.
explore why bigorexia is on the rise. In order to understand how we got here, we must first understand where this crisis started, the world of competitive bodybuilding. Bodybuilding as a sport and resistance training solely for the purpose of improving one's aesthetics wasn't popularized until the 1940s, when contests like
And somebody was all like, let's do a fun video. And I'm like, okay. And I picked a random video. This was random, dude. I just did that and I picked one.
Mr. America and Mr. Universe.
And it's a better video. I'll give it. Despite what you've heard, this is for you.
More eyes on the scene. The contestants' physiques, though nothing crazy to our current generation, were seen as abnormally large during the—
Knobsdog says the only bloodshed is from anal. We're a sex cult.
time. But this level of impressive physique was about to be inflated forever with the introduction of one drug,
send me to hell, dude.
Anabolic steroids are a synthetic derivative of testosterone designed to enhance the hormone's muscle-building properties. In the 1970s, bodybuilding—
Arnie, that's Arnie. Classic, dude. Look at the physique on Arnie. Dude, Jess has like, she thinks I'm gay for Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not gay for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look at the man's physique. He is perfection. Look at him, dude. The cut, he doesn't have that big HGH belly that like a lot of bodybuilders have today. He's got a nice build up top. His arms are huge. Look at these. Look at these. These are the thighs of a bull. It's just very impressive. Honestly, it's just very impressive. And this is like the least impressive thing about Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what makes me angry. He's just in the zone, man. He came from another country and he's all like, I'm going to be in charge of California. He's a very impressive specimen. Call me gay all you want. Go ahead, you do it anyway. That is a good physique.
Reached what is known as the golden era and hit the mainstream through the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger,
You know what?
Frank Zane, and Dorian Yates, all of whom
I'm just
used
gonna start
steroids
flexing
regularly.
on this.
It exposed an
'Cause
entire
why
generation of
not?
fitness enthusiasts to a new level of physique, but it wouldn't be seen as a desirable or achievable level of physique for many years to come. You see, during this time, bodybuilders were still seen as genetic freaks. On Muscle Beach, a public gym that most of the biggest bodybuilders in the scene went to, people would view the likes of Arnold and Frank as a spectacle. More than anything,
'Cause why
outrageously
not?
huge bodybuilders
Fuck this
clearly
show.
taking some kind of performance-enhancing drugs were like zoo animals. A fun thing to look at, but
Why not?
something that most
At
kids
least I'm
would look
getting
at.
paid.
But now
At
that
least I'm
steroids
getting
were starting to
paid.
hit the mainstream, the doors of opportunity
JD, you
to
didn't miss
raise the
anything.
standards of what was considered a great physique
Now I'm shirtless.
were wide open. The portrayal of masculinity in pop
That's
culture
how I'm
and
rocking
other
it.
forms of media has always had a firm grip on young men.
Dude, this is it. This is what I got. It's not Arnold, okay? It's not Arnold. But it ain't bad.
Before we know who we are or who we want to become, we have always looked to those ideals presented to us to give us direction. Usually these ideals offer more positives than negatives.
Goofy
but
Boots
in the
is here, and I'm sure he's completely confused. Stay confused, Goofy. It's just for your own sake, dude. Just stay confused because I don't even know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in this show. I've lost complete control. I've lost complete control of everything about this show.
In case of outwardly appearances, it's reaching the ends of extreme. What is considered a strong male physique in movies, for example, has evolved quite a bit over the years. In the 90s, one might have considered Brad Pitt in Fight Club to be absolutely jacked, but
skinny, very skinny.
If we fast forward 7 years, we can see how our desire for more muscle reflected itself in the movie male physique.
Goofy Boots says, I'm not confused. I've admitted that you are cute. I don't know how to feel about that.
I remember seeing Gerard Butler's physique in the movie 3.
Okay, so the thing about this, this was CGI. These weren't real. I mean, they're extremely cut, right? But this was CGI. A lot of their like abs and stuff were CGI, so that's why they seem so out of control.
300 when it came out in 2006. I was only 9 years old at the time, but I do remember thinking that a body like that was completely...
God, it's so gay. Oh my God. This show's turned into like the gayest. It's gayer than Daywave. Honestly, background noise for $10 says this was only going to be 5, but then you flash the nips. I think you gave some random account mod status. My handle is missing an R. Well, I hope that guy comes in and fucking bans you, background noise.
Attainable, only reserved for dramatic depictions of life. Though he may have
It does
looked
background
unbelievably good,
noise.
Butler
Hold on.
reported in interviews that he was working out for 6 hours a day, quote, ruining his body just to maintain that level of physique. A completely unrealistic lifestyle for the average person. Still,
There.
this was a movie.
There, I did it. Now both background noise and background noise are mods in my chat. So I hope that guy is as bitter and as gay as the rest of you, because he's gonna come in and he's gonna be like, "How am I a mod here?" and then just start banning people.
Where a lot of young men looked up to the
This
main
is so
character,
stupid.
and many of them began working out in the hopes that they could one day
Ric Flair Harris says nothing is gayer than Daywave, and I have to agree with that.
look like Gerard Butler. How do you think an ideal like that affects the mental health of an adolescent boy? In extreme scenarios, they spend all their time
Couch Surfing says we need clips of flexing. Is Arden Shire even here? I don't think Arden Shire is here. He usually does all that stuff.
lifting weights, revolving their
He'll
life
show
around
up.
the gym and eating healthy, disregarding any other
Or
areas
he
of
won't.
development.
He'll
and when their
see
efforts
it, I'm
always
sure.
come up short,
Somebody go ahead and tag him or something.
their self-esteem plummets, never being satisfied.
Tag him and be like, dude, it's getting gay over there. at the Sulk stream, and then he'll be like, I'm there, right? And then he'll come in and he'll immediately be banned, right? Because it's just flying. The bans are flying. Pamunky, good luck. You're gonna get banned.
Satisfied with how they look, despite looking better than most
You're
kids
gonna get
their
banned.
age.
We're all
Through
getting
the early
banned.
2000s and then 2010s.
We're all getting banned.
The ideal
and we're all
male
gonna be
physique-
butthurt about it, and then we're all just gonna sulk, right? Because that's the name of this show, and then it's actually doing it. Eat Steak is out there right now, and she's sulking because of the whole situation. And so I don't know if I'm proud of my show now or like what's the deal.
Would continue to grow in size.
I don't
A
know.
study conducted in 2006,
No idea what's
the
going
same
on.
year 300 came out, concluded that action figures have become more muscular and larger over the past 25 years. Another piece of pop culture, James Bond, saw its most recent actor, Daniel Craig, boasting a much bulkier physique than
He looks good. Daniel Craig looks good. God, what was this guy's name? Sean Connery. Sean Connery was not as buff, right? Because this was a 60. She looked great. She looked kicking. Not as buff, but that's just the thing. You have an expectation to get buffer these days. I'm pretty buff though, so right. I'm just saying. I go to the gym a lot, okay? I kind of expect to show off once in a while.
Sean Connery's James Bond in the 1960s. Just about every
And despite what you've heard, has been banned.
form of media that had an attractive male star saw their muscular ideals grow in size as our culture continuously pushed the standard for.
Yeah, he's like shredded and stuff, but he's like 5'4". So, I mean, ooh, scary.
What is considered strong and beautiful. And a lot of these actors are accused of using.
Oh, now people are pinning messages. Okay.
Steroids to enhance their physique and reach that standard. This is not necessarily a problem on its own.
I need to get a tan.
Actors want to
I
be
think I need to
extremely
get a tan.
dedicated to their
It's just
roles, and
the light
steroids might
I'm
allow
under.
them to do that without having too many side effects, so long as they keep the dose low. And
No, couch surfing. I did not do this, Doc, just to flex on everybody. It's part of the ban wars. And it's just the whole show went off the rails, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna start flexing on camera, and I did, and and here we are. Get those nipples on. It's cold in here. Look at that. Oh my god. Come on, we have 5 minutes left. Let's just get through this fucking show.
get off of it when filming is over.
Just get
But
through this
many
fucking
actors
show.
often lie about the drugs they are taking, making it seem like their physiques are attainable without any performance-enhancing drugs.
Did he juice? Did he take steroids?
Of course he did.
No. I love my job and I love Wolverine. I can be
You are fucking. I'm sorry, Hugh Jackman. Oh, I didn't take any. You're lying, and you're gay too. Did you guys know that Hugh Jackman's gay? He's definitely 100% gay. 100%, as gay as they come, like super gay.
careful what I say here, but I had been told anecdotally what the side effects are of that, and I was like, I don't love it that much.
Again, this perpetuates a masculine ideal that is becoming increasingly more difficult to live up to. And when men find the masculine ideal is farther and farther from their reach, two things will happen. They will either go to extreme measures to get as close to that unrealistic ideal, taking dangerous supplements, ruining both their physical and mental health in the process, or they will give up.
My mental health is shot. But so whatever. Let's go.
On the idea of looking like that completely and tell themselves that.
David Thrope says he took TRT, not steroids. David, TRT is steroids. Steroids are just different types of testosterone. It's the same thing.
They will never be good looking enough to deserve acknowledgement and validation. But there is one form of media that has wreaked more havoc.
It's just different types. It's just different esters and stuff, right? There is like straight testosterone, and there's like enanthate and cypionate, and there's a few of them that I don't remember. But there's also like there's There's like Decadurabolin, and then there's Dianabol, and then there's like, oh God, I can't even remember all of them. There's a lot of them, and they do different things, but they are all at their base testosterone.
Havoc and done more damage than any other forms of media that have existed in the past few decades. And that is, unsurprisingly, social media.
Despite what you've heard says, wait, the Australian actor who does musicals is gay? Yeah. And yes, he's married, but yeah, he's gay.
I just so happened to be getting into fitness and bodybuilding when I was in college in 2015, right when the first real fitness influencers were blowing up. Guys like Sean Thompson and Christian Guzman became figures that I looked up to as a teenager because they were very relatable and transparent about what it took to look like them. I began setting up a workout routine that revolved around my studies and social life. When I'd go to the dining hall, I'd make sure to add a few extra slices of pork or chicken to my plate. And soon I was beginning to see my first glimpses of those noob gains, as they're called.
I mean, like, they take a long time. They going from noob, it takes a long time to build muscle, even with steroids. I mean, steroids make it a whole lot faster, but it still takes a long time.
Progress was addicting. It was the first time in my life where I felt like I had complete control over the results I was getting in something, and that positively translated into other areas of my life. I had more energy.
Okay. Anyways, all right. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this show. Thanks for coming. And thanks for making it weird, everybody. Now I have my shirt off, and it's daywave. It's not even daywave. So it's very strange. I lost. It just completely went off the rails. Completely off the rails. Thanks for coming. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you guys learned something. Thank you so much for the donations. I really appreciate that. I mean, really, I honestly do. Please be nice to each other. Everybody's a mod now, and that was a mistake, and I know that now. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a great night. Come back tomorrow and, fight some more and donate some more. I don't really care. As long as I'm making money, I'm happy. So, fight. Fight all you want. Until then, I hope you guys have a great night. Stay cool. Stay strong. Try to be nice to each other, for God's sakes. Yeah. Get a good night's sleep. Drink some water. And take care of yourselves. Because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Good night. Jesus Christ.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster 2, government lies that feed me.
Stop banning people! Everyone's getting banned! Alright, Goof. There you go. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, you're banned, Rock. You're banned. Scott, you're banned too.